What's the worst announcement your school made? It was my senior year at Westlake High, and I was coasting until graduation. That Tuesday began like any other. Tired teens shuffling through hallways in familiar chaos. I sat in Mr. Donovan's AP Literature class, half listening to his passionate analysis of Macbeth when the old intercom crackled to life. Attention students and staff, came Principal Mercer, but something was off. Her confident tone now sounded shaky. The room fell silent as she continued. We are initiating an immediate lockdown. This is not a drill. Teachers, secure your classrooms and await instructions. Mr. Donovan's face shifted instantly. In 4 years, I'd never seen him less composed, yet he now moved with urgency, locking the door, switching off lights, and urging us away from windows, under the desks, against the far wall. He whispered. A student began to cry softly in the back. My friend Ellie grabbed my hand, her palm cold. 20 minutes later, the intercom crackled. Teachers, check your emails immediately. Do not share the contents. Mr. Donovan turned ashen reading his phone. He swallowed and then looked up, expression unreadable. Outside, sirens grew louder, then heavy footsteps and urgent voices echoed in the hall. My phone buzzed with texts from my mom asking if I was okay. News vans were setting up outside. Nobody knew what was happening, but rumors spread wildly via texts. Active shooter, bomb threat, chemical spill. The intercom sputtered again with Vice Principal Harding. Teachers, identify all students who visited the third floor lab between 8:15 and 9:30. Have them raise their hands now. 5 in our class raised their hands, Ellie among them. My stomach dropped. What were you doing there? I whispered. Turning in my chem lab, she replied, trembling. Mr. Donovan noted their names, his hand shaking. 10 minutes later, a soft knock came at our door. He peered through a small window before opening the door. 2 officers and a woman in a hazmat suit stood there. We need these students, one officer said, holding the list he had just submitted. Ellie squeezed my hand painfully before letting go. It'll be fine, she mouthed, though her eyes betrayed worry. They escorted her and the others out. Through the door crack, I saw more officers in the hall, some carrying radiation detectors. Lockdown lasted 4 more hours. When we were finally allowed to leave, we moved in small groups, escorted to the parking lot where anxious parents waited. My mom hugged me so tightly, I could barely breathe. Thank God you're okay, she repeated. Later that night, the news broke. Someone had brought a homemade device to the lab, an improvised radiological dispersal experiment. Not a dirty bomb, but dangerous. The student responsible, Marcus Weber, had been brilliant, yet troubled. He'd worked on it for months in his garage, fascinated by nuclear science. He claimed he only wanted to show his physics teacher, never to harm anyone. They'd discovered it when a Geiger counter during routine maintenance spiked. Ellie was released from quarantine 3 days later. At the hospital, she was made to shower for nearly an hour before going home. She seemed changed, not physically, but something in her eyes had shifted. 5 students and 2 teachers most exposed were transferred to a Maryland facility. We never saw them again. The school reopened after 2 weeks, yet the 3rd floor stayed sealed for the rest of the year. At graduation, Principal Mercer began her speech with, despite unimaginable challenges, but her voice broke, leaving her silent for minutes. 7 empty chairs were left in the front row, each adorned with a white rose and a photo. The following fall, the entire science wing was demolished and rebuilt. They installed a new intercom system crystal clear with no static, yet even now, whenever I hear an announcement over a speaker, my heart races and I search for the nearest exit.